Welcome to Blind Bourbon and Whiskey Reviews. I'm your host Lindsey and this is John, risking his liver to discover new bourbons. We base our reviews off of a 25-point scale we developed and then multiply that by 4 to get up to 100. We start with 5 points for smell, then 10 points for taste, then 5 for the finish, and 5 points combined for the look of the bottle and the liquid inside. Now on to the review.
Alright, so today we are doing Lindsey's first head-to-head matchup. We're doing entry-level bourbons today. I have 2 samples for her. We are camping, so we don't have the whole liquor cabinet, but I did bring a sample. Actually, I did bring the bottles. So, Lindsey's got a bunch of notes. She's been tasting them. She's on par what I think the score should be. So, how about smells on the first one? We're going to label the first one F.
For first?
I have a different letter why I picked F. I wrote it on the bottom of the glass so I know which one's which.
With a purple Crayola marker. Okay, so this one smells really sweet to me. It's almost perfect. I smell butterscotch and oak. There's not a whole lot of alcohol smell. Even like when you first poured it to me and gave it to me, there's nothing. Like I could just smell it and it was fine.
Well, entry-level bourbons are typically between 80 and 90. Some get up to 94, like Elijah Craig.
Okay.
Elijah Craig's not entry-level, though. That's small batch.
There's a really faint mint that I smell, like a spearmint or a sweet mint. It's like, I don't know. It reminds me of like Orbit sweet mint gum. I don't know. But I get a lot of sweet and I do get a faint mint. And then I smell a little bit of cinnamon. Kind of like a red hot. Like hot tamale cinnamon. Like sweet cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I smell smells sweet, so...
Well, I can smell it from here with my big sniffer. It does smell really good.
It's
I really want to drink right now.
Really nice. I don't mind it at all. So, I think I'm gonna do a 4.5. It's almost perfect, but I'm looking for... There's a certain smell, and I don't know what it is, but when I smell bourbons... That's what I want to smell for it to be perfect to me. And this one doesn't quite have it.
It does smell really good.
Yeah. So we're going to do... Originally I thought 4, but it's really almost there. So I'm going to say a 4.5 on the smell for it.
Okay. Now, does the taste transfer over any of the tastings? Is it as good as the smell?
I have a cut on my tongue. Yeah. It's sweet. Butterscotch, as weird as it sounds, I taste butterscotch and a little bit of mint. I don't know if there is such a thing, but if there was a butterscotch mint out there, this has got it.
Well, for me, the taste, hit at different times, so it's not like butterscotch and mint all at the same time. Is it
right,
for you?
Yeah, so it's like sweet and smooth right when it goes in, and then the back end of it is bitey and a little bit of mint, if that makes sense.
So this is a high rye recipe, so that bitey comes from that.
But so yeah, those two are really the two I only taste that transfer over. And I kind of get like a leathery tobacco really faintly, there's some kind of, I don't know if it's one or the other or maybe a combination of both. Or the char, I'm not sure, but I taste that too. But it's like right at the end.
So what would you give the score on the taste?
I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. So
not as good as the smell.
No, I wish it was a little bit sweeter and not so bitey. A lot more of the stronger tastes, like the stronger smells that I smelled didn't come through as prevalent as I thought they would be. So they're just, I wanted it to be a little bit sweeter. and maybe shine through some of those other flavors too, but they didn't. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
All right, on to the finish.
It's got a slight burn, not crazy. It's crazy where that cut is on my tongue, but other than that, I don't like burny. I don't like strong Kentucky hugs. That stuff, I kind of stay away from that stuff. This doesn't have that. It has a nice little whiskey burn, but it's not anything like horrible. So I don't mind it at all. Coats your whole mouth, but then it goes away really fast. So it doesn't really stick around. There's a little tiny hug. Like right now I'm just getting a little pinching in my chest, but it's got a nice finish to it. It's not bad. It's goes away a little too fast. It doesn't.
So quick.
Yeah, it doesn't stick around. It kind of just is there and then it's gone.
Okay.
So, it's 3.5 out of 5. It's not bad, but I just really wish it sticks around a little bit longer, so you enjoy it.
All right, how about the look?
I like the look. It has really nice legs. It has thick legs with the drops were real slow running, and then they speed up kind of when they get like halfway down. So that was really nice. I like that. And it's got a perfect golden. The sun is too far over us now, but when it was like shimmering almost. It was like shimmering gold. It just like the stuff you see in a pirate's chest. And so that definitely got full color points for me as far as that goes. But
Okay.
With that, it could be a little bit darker. I do like it to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 2.5. Just because I would want it to be a little bit darker. And that's probably my only qualm with it is it needs to be a little darker.
Down, so
yeah.
Gets rid of some of the color. And their entry levels are typically not aged for more than 4 years. So
it's not going to develop.
They're both
nicer
probably
color.
3 to 4 years, yeah.
But yeah, so I would give it a 2 out of 2.5.
All right. On to the second one.
This one's fruity to me. Like I smell like buttered toffee. Like when you're cooking it. I make it with my grandma every year for Christmas, and when you're cooking like the butter and the sugar together, that's what I smell. I smell that. As weird as it sounds, I smell Fruit Stripes gum. Like if you open up a pack and you just smell the gum itself, I smell that. Like I get that really heavily. And cherry. Just fruity to me all the way around. I smell a little bit of buttered toffee, but other than that, I just smell fruit. It's a little bit more alcoholier than the
Making
first
up
one.
words.
Yep. It smells a little bit more alcoholic than the other one. It's not terrible, but it's not as pleasant as the other one was. But it is super sweet. So sweet, fruity, and a little buttery.
So what would you give that out of 5 on the smell?
I give it a 4.
Okay.
It's about as good as the other one.
So you gave the first one a 4.5. So on the smell, the second one, or the first one,
Takes it.
All right. So on to the taste.
The alcohol transfers over with this one. It's a lot more alcohol-y and a lot more burny than the first one was. It's buttery. Not like buttered toffee now, it's just buttery.
Okay.
And cherry. I still get cherry. Or some kind of dark succulent fruit. I don't know. Like a plum or something maybe. Yeah. That's about it.
Okay, what would you rate that on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, I don't get the complexity that I get out of the first one. And I find myself looking for a little bit more. So I'm gonna give this one a 5. It's
So pretty average.
yeah, it's not
Decent.
horrible. I could drink it, but it's not the best thing I've ever put in my mouth. So
Okay. So what about the finish?
this one sticks around a lot more than the other one does. Like I still taste, like I still have it in like the roof of my mouth and the back of my mouth, and it's just kind of hanging there. It doesn't go away. It definitely burns more. I definitely get a bigger Kentucky hug. And it coats the mouth quick, but then, like, I don't know how to explain it. Because, like, it coats my whole mouth like this, the first one did. But then it just, like, it goes away except for the back. Like, right where I would taste rye usually is, like, it's just kind of hanging there. It doesn't fully go away fast, I guess. Like, even now I still taste it. I'm still tasting a little cherry and buttery burning something in the back of my mouth. So, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 for finish.
Okay.
Again, I want a little bit more complexity out of it. I want a little bit more of something, and a little less burn.
So far, got beetles crawling all over me. Bonus points if you can find any beetles in the video.
Yeah, right?
You rated the first one 0.5 higher on the smell, 1 point higher on the taste, and 0.5 higher on the finish. What about the look?
I like this look a little bit more. It's got thick legs that stick to the side of the glass, but they run a lot quicker. They just kind of, the droplets form and they go, and then they kind of bead up. I mean, you can't really tell right now because I've been drinking it, but they were like bubbling up into like big droplets on the side. So that was pretty, that was kind of its saving grace. And then it's shimmery. It's a little thicker. It is a little bit darker. So, I mean, it's not much darker than the first one, but it is a little bit darker, and it is still shimmery, but
Okay.
I'm still just going to give it 2. It's
2?
not phenomenal, but it's not...
So they both tie on the look.
Yeah.
Alright, so on to the reveal and the rating of the bottles. Now, I brought these from home. I snuck 2 liquor bottles from home and somehow hid them in the car, in the camper, and now in my hammock without her seeing them.
It's a lot of work for you. I'm impressed.
So do you want to reveal the winner or the loser?
So let's do the loser first. So that would be number 2.
The reason why I could sneak them is because I bought mini bottles. The loser, unfortunately, is Buffalo Trace. Which looks exactly like a 5th would, just in a mini.
Yep, it is. It's super cute. I like the mini bottles of stuff. I don't know why. I just do. I think it's cool when they make them smaller like this. I'm not surprised. I'm not the hugest fan of Buffalo Trace. Don't shoot me, guys.
It's decent.
There's a lot of hype around it, and it is good. I don't mind mixing it. I don't mind it neat. But I feel like there's a lot better stuff out there.
So it is 90 proof. It is toward the higher end of entry level.
Okay.
It comes from Buffalo Trace's mash bill number 1, which is not released, but there's a round, pretty close guess of it. We think it's 80% corn and then a little bit of rye and a little bit of barley.
but we'll never know. I'm not. I mean, this is. I guess if you're doing entry level and you're doing, I mean, this is pretty high level entry level. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, I am not a huge fan of their bottle.
Really, I like it actually.
I mean, I like that they have like the label ripped off and there's a buffalo in it. Like, I think that that's pretty cool.
It looks like an oxen to me.
We all know how well you know your mammals. Anyway, definitely a buffalo, guys, in case you were wondering. Don't listen to John when it comes to naming four-legged animals, ever.
I mean, the name of it's right in the name.
And you
Even
still
though
can't get
I
it
still
right.
got it wrong once.
Yeah.
All right, so how many points would you give on the bottle?
I give it 1. I'm not super impressed by it, but...
So does that bring your total up to 15 out of 25?
15.
Which is easy math, so that'd be 60 out of 100. Okay.
I mean, I feel like it could do a little better, but it's not one of my favorites.
All right.
But
So on to the second one. It is a similar bourbon. It is 90 proof also, I believe. We'll look at it on the bottle in a second. It has a different mash bill. It is 68% corn, 28% rye, and 4% barley. Just different. That's really high rye, and then almost just a 2 grain, but they just threw in a little bit of barley.
it's interesting, because I'm not a big rye fan. I mean, I like Baby Saz, but other than that, anything with high rye, I'm a little skeptical of. So, kind of surprised that one took the cake there.
And this one also is a mini bottle. Do you have a guess what it would be?
Is it Tullamore?
No, it's a bourbon.
Oh.
So, Tom Bulleit would be happy to know that Bulleit Bourbon is the winner.
Oh, this is a good one, guys.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Bulleit. We just got into like trying some of their stuff. And a funny story, when John and I first met, this was one of the first bottles that I bought him. He said that he liked whiskey. And he was like, oh. So I was like, oh, I'll go get him some. And he was like, what is this? He's like, I've never even heard of it. And mind you, this was 7 years ago. But both of us now have really fallen in love with these. We're excited to try their
barrel strength and their 10 year. I think they also have a 12 year. And they have a very, very high rye. They have like a 95% rye one. I'd like to try that too.
So yeah,
Sadly, this is the only thing I've tried and you've tried from their lineup.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good.
It is pretty good. I'm happy that I rated it high because I do enjoy this. I'm impressed.
Does it say 90 proof on there?
It is 90 proof too. Yep.
So the F on the bottom of the glass is for Frontier Whiskey. I needed that to remind myself which one's which. So how many points would you give on the bottle?
Well, obviously this is a mini one. But this one, I mean, it's not anything special either. It's not, I mean, I do like the labels on them. They're kind of old and antique.
Yeah, labels a lot more different than anything else out there.
So I think I would give it a 1.5.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little bit nicer, I guess, than anything else. This one actually has a little thing on the side of it too. It says, my family's been making bourbon for generations with Kentucky limestone filtered water and a secret blend of corn and barley malt and rye. My great-great-granddaddy knew a good thing when he tasted it, and I reckon you and I do too. With best regards, I remain very truly yours, Tom Bulleit. So that's kind of cool too. I've
heard him on a podcast, and he is a funny guy. He is. I like him. He's a good old guy.
So I'm okay with that.
Okay, so that brings your total up to 17.5, which is 70.
Yeah.
10 points higher than Buffalo Trace.
Well,
which I do like Buffalo Trace. I bought these minis for when I go fishing. I can just grab a couple minis and
And
go.
that I will say, both of these are good. I mean, like you said, we haven't tried anything really other than their normal stuff, so I'm excited to try different stuff from Bulleit soon. But it's not bad. It's good stuff. And I mean, Buffalo Trace it's a good one to just grab and go. It's becoming a lot more
Harder to find.
yeah.
It's not hard to find here in Michigan, but I see on some bourbon sites people are having trouble.
People can't find it. So I think it's starting to become the Weller for us, the Weller of everywhere else, pretty much. But we can find it everywhere. We just actually saw a half gallon of it at Meijer the other day, which was surprising. But it's good stuff. I don't mind it, but I definitely prefer it mixed. I don't know that I would like it straight too much. I would definitely take this one.
Yeah, Bulleit
over
seems to be a good, neat whiskey. I drink both of them neat, but I think I'd pick Bulleit over that.
Yeah. And I'm impressed too because even with their little shot, it's still glass. I mean, I don't see that very often. I know some of the higher ends do that, but for them being the same, it's a little nice to have a little glass one. But, well, I mean, I'm happy with that.
All right,
we'll see what happens with
we'll
the
start
rest of
this
them.
new series of entry-level bourbons with Lindsey.
Here we go.
I'm not sure if anyone's going to beat Bulleit.
We'll see.
Maybe some won't even beat Buffalo. They're both pretty
These
high
are pretty
up on
high
the
up,
entry levels.
High up entry level ones, so we'll see how it goes. But it's going to be interesting to see where we go with all that.
All right.
John can do the high-end stuff, and I'll keep it together with the lower stuff.
All right, let's get on to my review now.
Here we go.
I'm thirsty.
So that wraps up this review. Leave a comment if you have tried this whiskey and let us know what you thought. Please like and share to social media, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to leave a suggestion for our next review. Thanks for watching.